Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, participating, practicing in this class. Today's class sequence is going to be for mobility, strength, and balance. So really inviting in fluidity, confidence, and balance into our practice and into our day. For this particular practice today, you are going to want to have 2 blocks to incorporate. Sometimes we'll be using 1 block, sometimes I'll be offering options with 2. So just go ahead and prepare yourself by getting situated in a comfortable seat in your area, on your mat, whatever space you're practicing in, and making sure that you've got 2 blocks or something similar that you can use as a prop to support your practice. So once you get everything gathered and you're ready to go, we'll come into our breath work. So as you come into your comfortable seat, just make sure that you've got a straight spine. So as you root down in your seat, think about the crown of your head rising up. So shoulders above hips, ears above the shoulders, avoiding any rounding of the spine. Then go ahead and close your eyes, bring your gaze inward, just let your hands relax on your lap or on your thighs. And as you bring your gaze inward and close your eyes, simply notice your breath, the way that you're breathing now. Noticing that this might be the first time today that you've given attention to your breath. And just enjoy this time of connection to it. You might even find space to lengthen the breath. Inhaling more deeply. Exhaling fully. With each inhalation, taking in fresh, clean, new air. And with each exhalation, releasing stale, stagnant energy. Here we notice how good it feels to connect to this breath. To enjoy this time that we've set aside for ourselves. As you maintain this breath awareness and the gaze inward, start to visualize what it looks like to move through your physical practice. Now visualize moving through this practice with fluidity, power, and knowing when to back out and when to lean in. Let's take another deep inhalation all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, let it go. Start to flutter the eyes open, coming back into the space. And then lift the hands, bend the elbows, take the fingertips to the shoulders. Now, if your elbows are sagging, lift your elbows in line with the shoulders and gently twist to one direction and then the opposite direction. So here we're just moving the spine, giving ourselves time to release any tension, any stiffness. Let your body move faster if it wants to, or let yourself go at a slower pace if that's what you need. Well, what I want you to pay attention to in this time is if your elbows are sagging, lift them up, lift them up. Elbows in line with the shoulders. And as you twist from side to side, notice if one side feels different than the other. I'm definitely feeling a difference today, and that's all right. Usually we have one side that feels different than the other. So no judgment, just noticing where our body is. And we'll start to slow the movement, finding center. And then from here, we'll just release the elbows down, release the hands down, take a full round of breath. Exhale, open your mouth, set the breath free. Now from here, we are going to incorporate one block. So go ahead and grab just one block for now. We'll start to practice mobility for our shoulder one side at a time. So I want you to position the block underneath one palm. Now you're going to have maybe the desire to wrap your fingers around the block to keep it balanced, but I really want you to try just resting the block on your palm as if you're holding a tray. So this is a really cool technique that I learned from one of my yoga friends. His name is Daniel Heath. He's a phenomenal teacher. He also teaches here in North Carolina in a different city. So if you're ever in Southern Pines, check out his classes, Daniel Heath. So for the shoulder, I like this because this is a really controlled movement. I've got a foam block. If it falls, it's okay. It's not really going to hurt me. Cork blocks are going to be a little bit heavier. But if you don't have a block, you can position a little book or a little pillow or something in your hand. So we're starting with the elbow bent. Elbow is going to be beside the side body. Palm is facing up. Send the hand forward, straightening the arm, and then bend the elbow, bring it in. Now, as you bring it in, make space to take the block underneath and slowly with control, press the block straight up, rotate the fingers forward, and then bend the elbow, bring it back in. So that's one. We're going to try two more. Let your body move as slow as you need to maintain the control. So see there, I dropped my block, but it's no big deal. I can just come right back into it and try again. This is a practice. Each day is going to be different. And you'll notice how the shoulders are feeling. So we'll try one more time. Going at your own pace. Let the block fall. If it does, it's no biggie. We can always pick it back up. No judgment. Just enjoy having time to move in your body. So after 3 rounds, we are going to switch it up to the other side. Now I have been having trouble with this shoulder, so we'll see if I'm able to do it. If so, awesome. If not, no biggie. We're just letting our shoulders move in a way that's safe and controlled and feels good in the body. So once you have it in the other hand, you're going to send the block forward as if you're offering the serving tray to someone. Bring it in. And as I bring it underneath the armpit, I like to lean over to one side. This arm wants to move really slow today. That's all right. I'm going to work with my body where it is. Whew, made it a whole round. So now trying for 2 more. Again, find your pace. Let the shoulder adjust to this new movement, this new experience. And then let yourself take a 3rd round. And after your 3rd round, bring it in. Set the block out to the side. We'll come back to the blocks later, but for now, maybe just shrug out the shoulders, maybe roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few rounds. And now get ready to change the station of your body from seated to kneeling. So you'll bring your hands in front of you, lift your hips, and come into what we call tabletop. This is a neutral tabletop. So we want the wrist under the shoulders. We want the knees under the hips. Look between the knees. If you can see your feet, open them out until you can't see them anymore. Aligning the ankles with the knees. And then looking to your hands, spread the fingers wide. So let's take just a few cat-cows. As we inhale, we'll let the belly lower towards the mat. And as we exhale, we'll lift the back, creating space between the shoulder blades. Movement is following the breath. And then from here, we'll finish off this round. Back to a neutral tabletop, and we'll set up for a kneeling banana shape. So we'll bring the knees together, feet together. Lift both feet, take them over to the left side of the mat. So let the left foot rest on the arch of the right foot, and then walk the hands over to the feet, stretching the right side of the body. Now, you might feel enough sensation on your right side. If you need to go deeper, you can send the right hip back and to the right. Nice deep side body stretch. We'll come out of that, walk the hands back onto the mat, lift the feet, take them to the mat, take a full round of breath here. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, open the mouth, release. Lift the feet, take them over to the right. Now the top of the right foot is resting on the arch of the left foot. Hands walk over towards the feet as if they're trying to meet the feet, but the palms stay grounded. And then we'll gently send that left hip back and to the left. Feeling into the left side body. Walk the hands back onto the mat. Lift the feet, take them onto the mat, full round of breath. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, big sigh of relief. Now separate the knees back to hip distance. Lift your right foot, send it out to the right. So when you look back, you've got that right foot in line with the left knee. From here, walk your hands towards your body and then lift your hands off the ground. Now from here, we'll lift the arms up on an inhale breath. And as we exhale, we'll take the right hand down to the right leg, reach overhead. So stay where you are. I'm just going to change where my body is so you can see what I'm doing. So as we reach over to the right with the left arm, that right arm can come behind your back if you prefer. Position that left bicep above the left ear. And on your next inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, take the left hand down to the mat or to a block. So now we look down, we've got the left hand, left knee, or right foot in line with each other. Option to stay here, or you can lift that right foot, checking in on your balance. Maybe you bend the right knee, connect the right hand to the right foot, press the hips forward, and feel a nice stretch at the quad and the psoas. Now, if you feel really wobbly, you can always release the grip and back out. If you did make the connection, go ahead and release. Re-lengthen the limbs on the right side. Right foot meets the mat. Use your energy to lift the arms up. And then exhale, take the hands down. Now we're going to do that on the other side. So bend that right knee. Bring the right knee down. Knees are hip distance. And then from here, we'll lift that left knee, extend the left foot. So now we look down, left foot is in line with the right knee. Really pressing the sole of the foot to the mat. Inhale, the fingertips rise up. Exhale, lean over to the left. So right arm is reaching over. Left arm can come behind the back. Reach, reach, reach. Deepening the stretch at the side body. Preparing to switch it up. On the next inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale, right hand comes down to the mat. First, check to make sure right hand, right knee, left foot are in line with each other. Then, option to stay here in the supported side plank, or you can lift that left foot, checking in on your balance. Maybe you bend the left knee, connect hand to foot, and then press the hips forward. Awesome stretch here. An opportunity to practice your balance as well. And if you've made the connection of hand to foot, we'll release, re-lengthen the limbs on the left side. Left foot comes down. Use your energy to reach the arms up. And then take the hands to float down. Bend the left knee. Bring the left knee underneath the left hip. And then from here, take the hands back down to the mat. Now, as if you're coming in back into tabletop, but as we look at our hands, we're gonna walk our hands one hand placement forward. This is gonna give us a little more space as we transition now to downward facing dog. Curling the toes, lift the hips way up high, and then press the hips back. Now, as you press your heels down to the mat, if your hamstrings are tight, I recommend you bend your knees. Give yourself some time in down dog. So maybe you bend one knee as the opposite leg straightens. Deepening the stretch, going up the leg into the hip. And then trying that on the other side. If that feels good, continue to do that. Alternating knee bends. Or maybe you rock the hips from side to side. Now, wherever you are, come back to center. On your next inhale, lift and lengthen that right leg, toes to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your right knee, step your right foot outside of your right hand. So we're coming into some lizard lunge options. You are welcome to stay here with your knee lifted, or you can lower the knee down, uncurl the back toes. So I prefer this because we're going to have an opportunity to do this later with the knee lifted. So for right now, I just want to get into my hips. I like to rock the hips from side to side. You could lower onto your forearms if you'd like. And if you're taking that option, just align your elbows with the arch of your right foot. Now, if you've got your palms pressed to the mat, and you decide that you want to take a quad stretch, so this is going to be for the back leg. So really pressing into that left hand, bend that left knee, lift your left foot, your back foot, and then reach your right hand to connect to your foot. Now, if you make the connection, open the shoulder, gaze up, deeper quad stretch than when we were balancing. And on the next exhale, we'll gently release. Take that right hand back down to the inside of the foot, and then uncurl those left toes. Now, option to stay here, or if you want to go a little deeper, if you want more activation, then you can lift that left knee, bend the right elbow, bring the right arm underneath the right leg. Maybe you fly the arms, or maybe you take a bind, letting the hands connect at your back. Now, you certainly don't have to do this, so you can opt out, bringing your hands back down to the mat in line with your right foot. If you're still in the bind, go ahead and start to come out. From here, we'll lift the hips, straighten the legs. It might be more comfortable to walk your hands closer towards your back foot. And with both legs straight, lower your head. Think about taking a little micro movement, sending that right hip back slightly, left hip slightly forward, feeling all the sensation in the right leg. If this is a little too much for you, you can always lower that back knee and take your option this way. And if you're taking the option this way, just lift those right toes. Now we're going to start to come out, so we'll bend that right knee, take the hands in line with the right foot, And then we'll step that right foot back, come back into down dog. Now, depending on what you want for your practice today, you could take an optional vinyasa. As you inhale, shift forward plank position. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, take it to downward facing dog. Let's enjoy a few rounds of breath here before we take this on the other side. Find your breath. All right, preparing to come into the other side. Inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Step the left foot outside of the left hand. Maybe you bring the hands more to the center of the mat, giving yourself a little more space if you need to. Now, in our options, remember, you can stay here with that back knee lifted, pressing the heel back, keeping the left knee bent. Or you can lower that right knee down. Then uncurling the toes. And here we give ourselves time with the breath. Maybe we rock the hips from side to side. Maybe we lower those forearms down to the mat, elbows in line with the arch of the left foot. Give yourself an opportunity to get deeper into the hip. Maybe that left knee splays out. Or alternatively, maybe you hug that knee in towards the shoulder. If you want to go for the quad stretch, just press palms to the mat first. Right hand is going to stay down. Right knee bends, right foot lifts, left hand reaches back, making the connection. Left shoulder opens, heart is open, gaze is up. And then if you made the connection, gently release the foot, lower it down. The left hand comes back to the inside of the left foot. Option to stay here, or option to curl the right toes, come off the right knee. Then bend the left elbow, bring the left arm underneath the left leg, fly the right arm, or maybe you take the bind and the hands meet behind the low back. Just an option. Find what you need. This is your practice. These are all just options. If you're in the bind, release, bring your hands back down to the mat. Lift the hips, send them back, straighten the legs. Remember, you can walk the hands towards the body. So this is one option. Both legs are straight. We relax the head, we relax the neck. Think about a little micro movement, slightly sending that left hip back as we slightly send that right hip forward. Now, if this is a little too much for you, you can lower that right knee. Send the hips back enough so the right hip is above the right knee. Straightening the left leg, lift the left toes. So maybe this more grounded option feels better to you. They're both great options. The one that you pick should be the one that feels best in your body right now, in today's practice. Now, wherever you are, on your next inhale, bend that left knee. If your right knee is down, just lift it. And then from here, we're going to take that left leg back to down dog. Now, option to take a vinyasa or option to just stay in down dog with your breath. This is totally up to you. What do you want for your practice? If you took the vinyasa, let's meet in down dog. Find our breath. In your down dog, maybe bring the feet a little closer together. And then inhale, lift that right leg. Exhale, step it through. Now engage that right hip. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up. Crescent lunge. So the right knee is bent. Right knee is tracking above the ankle. Maybe press that left heel down. Notice how the left calf muscle feels. Now we are going to incorporate the blocks. So you can lower your hands down. Invite the blocks onto the mat. Bring them in front of your right foot. Shift the weight forward, lift the left foot. So this is a supported warrior 3. Now, as you come into your supported warrior 3, you want to square the hips. So if you notice that your left hip is stacking above your right, square them, bring them in line with each other. Decide how far you need to bring your blocks forward. And if warrior 3 is part of your practice and you don't want your blocks, that's cool too. You can let go of them. Left toes should be pointing down. Feel into that right hip. Now from here, we're going to switch it up. Standing half moon. Take that right block maybe a little further out to the right. Find where it's comfortable for you. And now we are going to stack that left hip. And then reach the left fingers up. Gaze can be down to the ground. Or maybe it's up to your left fingers. And as we come out, we're going to gently bring that left hand down to the block. Square the hips. Let the left toes drop back. Bend the right knee at the same time. Reach the arms up. So we're back to our crescent lunge. Moving slow, moving with control. From here, we're going to lower that left knee down lunge. Press the hips forward. And then from here, take the hands down. Send the hips back. And straighten that right leg. So as the right leg straightens, lift the toes. And then fold. We've got another full round of breath here. As we inhale, we'll rebend that right knee, shift forward, move the blocks out of the way, curl the left toes. Inhale, sweep the right leg up. And as you exhale, lower the right foot down. Option for vinyasa. Inhale, shift forward, plank position. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. Exhale, take it to down dog. Next inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Now engaging that left hip. Inhale, arms rise up. Find your crescent lunge. Left knee is bent. Left knee is tracking above the left ankle. Maybe you press that right heel back. Feel the strength and the power in your legs. Prepare to shift forward, transitioning to warrior 3. Take the hands down, send the weight into the left leg. Now the right leg is lifted, the right toes are pointing down. Or remember, we don't want to stack the hips, we want to square them. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Notice how the left leg feels, left hip. Give yourself time to feel into this side. Know that from here we're going to be transitioning to our standing half moon. So the left hand can stay down on the block, or maybe you take it to the ground. Now we are going to stack that right hip. Right foot is flexed, and then we reach the right fingers up. Find your balance. Find your breath. And then as you exhale, slowly lower that right hand down to the block or to the mat. Bend the left knee. Let the right toes touch the back of the mat. Arms rise up, back to crescent lunge. Continuing to move slowly with control, lower that right knee down. Press the hips forward, knee down lunge. From here, we'll take the hands down. Shift the hips back, uncurl the back toes. Now the left leg is straight, lift the left toes, and then fold. Feeling more deeply into that left hamstring. Enjoying the breath, enjoying the pause. On the next inhale, let's bend that left knee. Shift it forward. Plant both hands, curl the right toes. Lift that left leg up. Exhale, take the left hand down. Downward facing dog. Find your breath. Know that you can come into child's pose if you prefer. Now, if you're in child's pose, transition to down dog. From down dog, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands, bringing ourselves to the top of the mat. And as we inhale, we'll take a half lift. As we exhale, we'll fold. Taking a little more time in the fold. Arms can dangle, or maybe your hands reach onto your elbows, framing your head with your arms. Remember, the knees can bend if the hamstrings are tight, or maybe you straighten the legs. If the hamstrings are really open, you might bring the feet together and then take the hands to the ankles or maybe behind the legs. Just giving yourself an opportunity to stretch the back of the body, to decompress the spine. And wherever you are, just bend the knees and slowly start to roll up to a standing position. Mountain pose, Tadasana. So as we find standing, letting our head come up last, we'll take those shoulders up, back, and down. Palms are facing forward. All right, know that from here, we are going to take a few rounds of Sun Salutation B, Surya Namaskar B. So before we really start to move and flow into that, you might want to take a sip of water. It's getting a little heated here in my room because of the time of day, so I'm going to turn my fan on. So feel free to grab your water, take a sip. I recommend sips rather than gulps. That way, when you're folding forward, you don't feel uncomfortable. And then to prepare for these, we're going to bring the feet together. So instead of feet being hip distance, bring the big toes together. Leave a little space at the heels, maybe just an inch or so. Now, when you're ready to go, arms start by your sides. We're going to start off in chair pose, everybody's favorite pose, also known as awkward pose. So we want to sit back as if we're looking for a chair. We bend the knees. Maybe we graze the fingertips. We reach forward and up. And here we squeeze the thighs together. Really activating, building strength. Looking down, making sure the knees aren't coming past our toes. So we want to think about sitting back rather than leaning forward. Now on your next exhale, go ahead and fold. Just like we did before. Inhale, take a half lift. Now as you exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step the right foot back, step the left foot back. We're back to plank position. From here, we move through our flow. So maybe it's chaturanga, how we lower, or maybe it's knees, chest, chin. Just find your way to downward facing dog. And then inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up. It's our crescent lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Now, the right foot comes back. Option to move through our flow, or if you're not into that, know that you can take it straight to down dog. This could be dependent on your energy today. The sun salutations are going to help give you energy. Maybe if you have a shoulder limitation, you want to opt out of them. So once we get to down dog, inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, let's find our crescent lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Left foot steps back. Maybe we move through a flow, maybe not. This is totally up to you. What do you need? What do you want? As we get to down dog, we find our breath and we reflect. Reflect on the intention of mobility, fluidity, strength, power, confidence, balance. And then we make our way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back to our chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Maybe we take another sip of water here. So that's one round. We've got just two more. And for the next two rounds, we're going to add something different each round. When you're ready, arms come by your sides. Shoulders come up, back, and down. And as we inhale, we find our chair pose. Exhale, let's move into our forward fold. Inhale, time for a half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back from plank position. Move through your flow. Listen to your body. Now, from down dog, inhale, lift and lengthen that right leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up. Okay, so we're pausing here because we know we've got an add-on option. Totally okay to stay here in crescent lunge, or you can lower your hands down, work that right shoulder under the right leg, and maybe you take a bind. Now, we don't have to take a bind. You could fly the arms. Just see what your body wants. And when you're ready to come out on an inhale breath, come back to your crescent lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Right foot comes back. It's down dog for a few rounds of breath, or we move through a flow. Whatever you chose, from downward facing dog, inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, reach those arms up. Crescent lunge on this side. Option to stay here. Option to lower the arms down. Bring the left arm under the left leg. Maybe we take the bind. Maybe we fly the arms. What do you want to try? Find your power. Find your strength, your confidence. Find your flow. And if you're in the bind, come out. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down. Left leg flies back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot meets the mat. Option to flow, or option to stay here in down dog. Now, if you're overheated, remember, you can always come into child's pose. That's always going to be an option for you. Stay as long as you'd like. Make this practice your own. If you want to continue to move through our salutations with variations, your feet are going to step to the top of the mat. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, find your chair. Exhale, Tadasana. Pause here. Another opportunity for a water break. Or maybe you bring one hand to your heart and the other hand on top. Bring your gaze inward. Find your breath. Feel the energy at your heart center. Notice the energy you've created with your movement, your intention, your practice. Give yourself time here to re-lengthen the breath before we come into our third and last round. Know that in this third and last round, we are going to have an arm balance option. If you've been having issues with your shoulders, then you might opt out of this one. Or you might try it. Just listen to your body and take it step by step. We'll flutter the eyes open, come back into the space. Let the arms float down by your sides. Palms are facing forward. Inhale, take it to chair pose. Exhales our forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. Move through your flow. From downward facing dog, inhale, lift and lengthen the right leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, arms rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, take the hands down to the inside of the right foot. Now, from here, this is our option for our arm balance. I'm going to try to do this with this pack kind of in my way. All right, so what you want to do is bend with the right foot forward, bend the right elbow, and really work the shoulder underneath the knee. Take the hand to the outside of the foot. Then you're going to lift this right foot, fly it, bend the left elbow, and then lift both legs. Come out when you're ready. Taking it back to down dog, to flow through a vinyasa. Or maybe you need a couple rounds of breath in your child's pose. If your breath shortened, just give yourself time. If you're really digging this arm balance, stay in it. Give yourself a couple more rounds of breath. Pay attention to what your body needs, what it's telling you. No, it's okay to take a child's pose. It's okay to take a water break. It's okay to opt out. And it's also okay to try it, to stay in it longer, to offer yourself this time of freedom in your practice. Now, wherever you are, we're going to meet in down dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to inhale, lift, and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. So first we start off in our crescent lunge. Gaze is forward, left knee is bent. Exhale, take the hands down to the inside of the left foot. I'm just going to turn this way so I don't kick anything here in the room. Got shortage of space on the other side. All right, so that left foot is forward. From here, we're going to bend that left arm, bring the shoulder, really work the shoulder underneath the knee, and then shimmy that left foot in so there's space to bring your left hand to the outside of the foot. Now, from here, lift the left foot, bend the right elbow, make a shelf for the right side of your body, and then fly the legs. Come out when you're ready. Take it to down dog. Take it to child's pose. Or stay in your arm balance. Notice this side might feel really different. If you're in down dog or child's pose, give yourself time to catch your breath. Give yourself time to lengthen the breath. So all of us making our way to child's pose or down dog now. It is totally cool if you want to stay in child's pose. Or you can finish off this round of Surya Namaskar B. Bringing yourself to downward facing dog. And then making your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. And in your Tadasana, inhale, sweep the arms up, let the palms meet. Bring the thumbs down the midline. Close the eyes, bring the gaze inward. Connect with your breath. Simply notice your physical body. Notice your breath. Notice your mindset. And lower the arms down by your sides. Lowering yourself down to the mat however you'd like. If you want to fire things up a little more, strengthening the legs, maybe you lift the heels, come onto your tippy toes, reach the arms forward, and slowly start to lower down. Slow, slow, slow. All the way until you come onto your seat and then onto your back. Give yourself time to ground down. Finding a neutral spine. And just noticing how good it feels to ground down and completely relax and let your body just be supported. No more standing balances. No more strengthening work. No more flow. Just presence. Stillness. Help yourself stay connected to your breath by taking your hands to your belly. Feel the belly rise with each inhalation. Feel the belly soften with each exhalation. Just relax. Let yourself cool down here and now. And let yourself take any movement or any posture you'd like. Maybe you come back into spinal twisting. Maybe it's a happy baby that you find. Maybe halasana, plow pose. Maybe core work. What is it that you need to round out your practice today? It might be Just coming right into Shavasana. Let your body speak to you and tell you what it wants, what it needs. And offer yourself this time now to complete that. If you've moved directly into Shavasana, you can tuck your chin towards your chest, lengthening the back of the neck. And let your eyes close. Bring your gaze inward. Congratulate yourself for this time, this energy that you've put into your own practice. And then come back to your breath. If you haven't already, maybe you make your way into stillness now. And sinking down onto the ground, completely supported. Time to just chill. Deep, deep breaths. Completely surrendering, softening, and letting go with each exhale. This is your time to connect with yourself. Do that now. In this time of stillness, keep your gaze inward, your eyes closed. Continue to enjoy this time of relaxation and presence with yourself as you integrate all the movement that you've done in your practice today. And start to visualize yourself moving off the mat into the rest of your day. What does that look like for you? Visualize yourself moving with graceful fluidity, with confidence and strength, knowing when to lean in, and knowing when to back out of each situation that arises. See this clearly. Take it in. Honor it. And on your next inhale, sweep the arms up. Let the palms connect. Exhale, bring the thumbs to connect to your heart center. Take a moment of gratitude to yourself for showing up for your practice. Feel so much gratitude for serving yourself, for enjoying this time. Namaste.